You're listening to Legend of the Innkeeper, the Hearthstone podcast for casual players.
Ah, you're new here. Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Welcome to Legend of the Innkeeper. I'm Bastidius.
And I am Espo.
Welcome back, everybody. This week we're talking about the upper reaches.
I almost said I'm Zerosha.
Oh.
I saw his name, and this is why I can't watch Twitch chat, because I saw his name in Twitch chat, and I thought, oh, I am Zerosha.
Well, you two get along so well, I can see that. You know, he is your,
we do.
He was there with you during the 24-hour stream, hanging out, helping you through it. So, I mean, I can see that. So
He is my wingman.
That's right.
He is my wingman.
So, how's it going? How's the week? Did you get a chance to play any Hearthstone?
Yeah, I played a lot of Hearthstone.
Okay, did you get a chance to do anything other than play Hearthstone?
I think Rez and I may have played. Did we played a little bit of D3, I think.
Well, you and I played right after the show last week.
That's right. Yeah, and then I think the next night, Rez and I played. Goodness,
Big Blur, huh? Big Blur.
Yeah, I mean, school started this week.
Oh,
so last week
right.
was meetings all week, working in the classroom, and then yesterday was the first day for students. So it's been, and I'm surprised my voice has left. In fact, my throat really hurts because it's just constant talking, just straight up, just constant talking. You know, I have a lot of the same kids I had last year, but you know, they still need to know their place in Mr. Espo's classroom. So.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely see that.
But definitely played a lot of Hearthstone.
Good.
Defeated the Lich King.
Well, you know, last week I told you I was had not even completed the first wing.
Okay.
Well, I made up for that. I finished the first wing and I finished the second wing. So got all the way through. And I've attacked and battled with the Lich King. Haven't beat him yet, though. Working on it. Gotten close a couple times, but haven't quite figured it out yet. So I've only tried it with 2 different classes, and I think one of these classes, Warrior, you're still working on. So
I am. I currently have Warrior, Warlock, and Paladin remaining.
Okay.
To beat him with. So yeah.
Well, cool. Other than that, I just went through and tried to get my battles done. I was successful. I also did the Tavern Brawl this week. I played with that one. I actually liked that one. That was kind of fun to play with a little bit. And then, of course, I watched a lot of Gamescom, which was this past week. And
I did catch a little bit of that. I caught a little bit of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, what I was watching most of was PUBG, I have to say. But there wasn't a whole lot more than that I got into. So, Speaking of Gamescom, if you're done.
Yeah, that's my week.
Okay, cool. Gamescom is an event that's in Germany, held every year, and it's a big event that Blizzard attends pretty heavily. They ended up showing up with a whole bunch of different things that they were updating on various games of theirs. The one thing they did for Hearthstone was they had a short, little cartoon video that they revealed at Gamescom. And I have to say, I think they probably shocked most people who play the game or follow it with, one, the quality of the video, and two, the content. It's like, who is this content for? This is not your normal Hearthstone video. This is not the normal thing. Well, it's kind of Karazhan-ish a little bit. But, I mean, actually, if you're going to really compare this to anything, the only thing I can compare it to is the tavern scene in Tangled, the Disney Pixar movie. Have you seen that? No, you haven't.
Yes.
Oh, you have? Okay. Or...
Yeah. Oh, I've seen Tangled, yeah.
The Beauty and the Beast Gaston song in the tavern type thing. You know, this was full-on video production. However, I did find out that they happened to acquire one of the video artists from Pixar, and he's been assisting them with their video production, which definitely shows in this last video. But wow, what a video. Crazy. You have to watch it. If you haven't already seen it, you must go watch this. It is really good. And I noticed that the main character, well, one of the characters in there, who is kind of a wizard, is going to be in this year's BlizzCon key art. So he's the Hearthstone representation for the key art this year. So very interesting.
Yeah, it was. The quality is what surprised me. It was definitely Pixar level. This was amazing. The characters surprised me a little bit. Definitely had a mix of like the little bit of Gadget Zan, a little bit of Karazhan. Definitely Hearthstone-ish, but maybe almost a little bit more kid-friendly, I guess.
Definitely. Well,
right?
Some of the people I heard talking about this, they were talking about this as if they're going after a completely different audience now at this point.
Yeah.
They've tapped most of the major audience they're going to get from the World of Warcraft users, the all the other entity users that they have currently that are in this area. So I think they're now looking to try and reach a different audience, trying to bring more people in here that may have played with it at one time and are may be interested in checking it out again, or somebody who's just never even seen it at all. So bold move, definitely. So anyway,
I enjoyed it a lot.
Cool. So Gamescom, while at Gamescom, they did also talk, the other things we should probably mention real quick. World of Warcraft has a patch coming out that actually went out yesterday or today. I think it went today. It is version 7.3. It is us going to take the fight to the Legion. So actually traveling to their planet through a portal and doing all kinds of cool stuff. So if you haven't checked that out and you're interested in WoW or have been at all, it's time to go back and play again. Because all the fun parts just hit again. Lots of changes there. And just another amazing video if you watch your video intro into that patch. Because they're patches. Their patches are essentially mini expansions practically every time they come out with them. So they usually have additional content, they have additional zones, lots of raids, lots of changes happen in these major patches. So this is one of those, and probably the last one we'll see before BlizzCon and the announcement for the next expansion for a while. So might be interested in getting in there, digging around. Also, the other real big thing was Overwatch. They had a few announcements for that as well. They had a new map called Junkertown. A short to introduce that with a Junkrat and Roadhog. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of on the level of a Looney Tunes type video. And that one seems almost quality. Squishy was saying that this is looks like an intro to what may be a cartoon series. It's that quality. And then they also threw out another short background story for May. And that one is sad. I'll warn you right up front. That one's kind of an emotional. It'll tug at your heart a little bit as you watch that one, but it's very good story. Anyways, those are some cool things coming out. But that map itself, though, is going to be a lot of fun. It's a escort map and takes you through Junkertown. So you can go there, playoverwatch.com, and see the video for that and see the map and everything. And there's a lot of changes happening also to some characters in the game. They did a major overhaul of Mercy, and Diva has had some changes. So those characters are interested to you. You may want to check that out. And then the other last big thing was they released a new character for Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're a little excited about this, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't even play Heroes that much, but hearing this made me smile.
Okay, who is it?
KT.
That's right.
It's not Kick Tripod.
That's right.
Not to be confused with Kick Tripod. It's actually Kel'Thuzad. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun to play with him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a little introduction video for him as well. And I should mention, too, that if you're a Prime member, a Twitch Prime member, you may want to go check it out because right now is a legendary reward. You get a legendary crate with your Twitch Prime membership. And, you know, we've done this before with Hearthstone. We had packs that we got or are going to be getting here in the future. They also had some Twitch chests that you could get through Here's a Storm earlier in Overwatch. So now's your chance to go cash that in. And it gives you a legendary character or legendary skin, I believe it is, for free. But you only get one. And you have to have your thing all set up. That's guaranteed to contain at least one legendary hero, skin, mount, or announcer. So go check that out. And that's the big things there for that I can remember from Gamescom. But there was also a Q&A with Ben Brode and Ben Thompson, the Ben Bens. They had some conversation during the announcement stuff over Twitter and answered a bunch of questions. And some of the ones that were more interesting that came out of that were people asked about the mouse that's seen in the official art. Yeah, his name's Sarge.
Yeah. Good stuff.
He's the best friend of Hearthstone Brew. So you've seen that key art somewhere. I don't know where that might be. There's no plans to currently do the same treatment for Monk and Demon Hunter like they did with Death Knights, where they have a Death Knight for each of the heroes. And they're not planning on that for monks or demon hunters at the moment. Mechanics, they'd like to bring some of these back, some of the previous mechanics, when needed. I mean, when they're feeling like they want to do that. But for the time being, they want to make sure that ones that are in play now are getting their time to shine. They don't want to overstep and overshadow, I guess, some of the other mechanics that are out there. But at times, if they like the certain mechanics, or they fit a certain purpose, then they're going to bring those back, possibly. So that might happen in the future. Meaning mechanics like mechs, things like that. Also asked Ben Brode's favorite card from Frozen Throne is Deathstalker Rexar. Ben Thompson's favorite card from Frozen Throne was Valera,
one of my favorites.
the Hollow.
She's okay.
And Ben Brode also mentioned that he's been playing Meatwagon with Validated Doomsayer and Devil's War Egg. That they work really well together because those are zero attack cards. The Meatwagon pulls out, Validated Doomsayer is one that comes out as a 0/7, and at the beginning of the next turn he has 7 attack. So those could do some really interesting combinations. And then the last bit I had was if you've got a Frozen Throne pack suddenly last week and you have no idea where it came from, Blizzard put those out there for people who had a bugged pity timer. Yay, you were bugged. There's your compensation.
That's cool.
I did not get one.
I was not bugged.
Yeah. So.
Nope.
So that's it. That's all the news for the moment. Everybody's been digging in. Everybody's been playing. I've been hearing lots of conversations around the fighting the Lich King. Been hearing about some people finishing off the month strong and doing some excellent work there. I think most everybody's got their nose to the grindstones right now. They're all kind of focus on finishing out the season because we're 2 days away from the end of the month, which means you got the last few seconds to get the best rank you can get before its season ends.
I think my best rank so far is 14. So, you know, they take your best rank that you've gotten to, even if you drop all the way back down to 20. You know, but of course it's nice at 14 because you can only drop back down to 15. So I made it over that hump. So now I'm, of course, at 15 hanging out. I think that's in wild. And then in standard, I'm still at like 20. So.
Okay. Well, I know one thing also is mentioned in the conversations with Ben Brodus that was asked about the ladder system and that they're looking to rework some of that here in the near future. So we'll see some of these changes that come out. And hopefully they'll come out sooner than later, 'cause that may help some people work their way up the ladder a little bit easier, depending on how well that works. So,
yeah. Well, this past week, we actually got a little surprise with a brand new Tavern Brawl. Did you get to play this?
I did.
Yeah, really, really cool. Not such a new player-friendly Tavern Brawl, as you had to build your own deck, but fun for new players, because some of these new players have never seen Emperor T or his power. Emperor T, of course, is Emperor Thaurissan. His card is a 6-mana 5/5. At the end of your turn, reduce all cards in your hand, their costs by 1. So the title of this Tavern Brawl is By the Power of Ragnaros. And this Tavern Brawl gives you that power. You have that power, except you don't have to play any cards to get the power. It's just automatic. At the end of each of your turn, you get the Emperor T power, which is really neat. Enabling you to really do some crazy combos, because combos are limited mostly to 10 mana or so, unless you get like classes like Rogue and Druid that allow you to make spells cheaper.
What do you mean? These combos?
So really, really cool. Yes, cheddar cheese, pretzel combos. So you get your baked snacks. You get your baked snacks cheaper because, usually they would cost around 10 mana.
I like
now,
that.
You can make them cheaper. So cheaper combos, always funner, more fun, and good
funner.
Stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
It was really cool. I enjoyed it.
Are you surprised I actually pulled that off right then?
I was wondering what was going on. I had like my eye on Skype and I was like, what is Vastidius doing over there? And I saw you hold up a bag. Well, I looked at Twitch chat. I thought, is he talking to someone in code on Twitch chat? No. And then I saw it. Yeah, the combos.
Well, see,
combos
we
are good, man. I love
we took a little trip.
Combos.
My wife and I took a little trip a week and a half ago, and that's my road trip snack.
Nice.
It's something that's easy to eat in the car. When you're a little snacky and stuff. So I just happen to have a bag of combos in there. Here you were talking about combos like crazy, so I had to.
Mine is beef jerky.
Yeah, it makes me thirsty.
Jerky. Yeah. Well, I water and beef jerky go together. So yeah. But
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So we said this week. No, you're fine. You're fine. So Tavern Brawl, really cool. I got a few wins in it. But at Vestidius, we promised everyone that we would go ahead a week after. We'd give them a chance to play out the upper reaches. And now we're going to talk about it. And I guess we're gonna spoil it. Spoil the upper reaches. After
you have plenty of time to get through it.
That's right. Hopefully everyone else has got their spoils from the upper reaches, and now we are going to spoil the upper reaches. So I played this 2 weeks ago, so I'll try to do my best to remember. I've been battling the Lich King, man, just like everybody else. So, but we're trying to give you guys a chance to play this out before we go into detail about it.
Okay, well, your first battle is against Blood Queen Lanathel. And she starts out with just something simple. She has a 2/2 Sleeping Alkalites on her side. No big deal. Till turn 1, then she turns you into a vampire. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, hello there. And basically what
So
that
let me
does
ask
is,
you this.
yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us what it does.
Well, it changes your hero power, and your hero power becomes a vampiric fight. And it gives you essentially this the text on it. Give a non-vampire +2/+2. Right? Great. Okay. You must use this. So you have to use this every turn, but it costs 0. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just you have to use this. However, the key to it is that you can't use it on a minion you've already used it on. So if you've already used it, you need to play a minion so that you can use it again the next turn or whatever.
So
you always have to have fresh.
Did you go into this? Did you go into this knowing what was going to happen? Because it's when you first look at Lady Lanethel and you see her hero power, you're like, oh, okay, and then the game starts and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of understand. Boy, I didn't understand. And then, but once it was my turn and I had my 0 cost hero power that I had to use, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to put some minions in my deck.
Well, yeah. I ended up using a little bit of a guide to kind of get a little hint because I was pressed for time a little bit when I started doing this, but then I kind of got the idea. But I had built a deck that had a lot of charge in it.
Ooh,
and a lot of lower minions. And so, yeah, that's what I ended up getting right on the right track. And then this deck that we're going to recommend is, at least I'm recommending it, is really benefits from that greatly. So,
yeah, good stuff. So, I enjoyed this. This was fun. Once I figured it out, it was no problem.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this was quite interesting.
Going to face straight up.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah, the deck I'm recommending, it's links in the show notes if you want to check all this out. It's called 0 Cost Blood Queen Lanethel, and it's got your blue Guild Warriors, Elven Archers, Iron for Grizzly, Magma Rager, Murloc Tidehunter, Razorfin Hunter, Reckless Rocketeer, Stone Tusk 4, Storm Knight, Voodoo Doctor, and Wolf Rider. So a lot of charge minions and supporting minions around that too. And then, of course, you have the Blessing of Kings, the Blessing of Might, and then Consecration to kind of help you manage what's coming on the board on the opposite side. And a few weapons to kind of do that too. So it moves quick, and it was really easy to pull this off. So if you're having troubles with it, here's your deck that you can play with. It'll help you get right past that one.
Yep.
Okay. Easy enough. That one's simple. Sort of. Once you figure it out. Well, next one, though, wasn't quite so simple. It's funny. In the show notes, I mistyped one of the cards on the board.
Did you see me fix that?
Yeah. Okay, so Professor Putricide. This is a 3-phase fight. So he starts out with 15 armor and 30 health. Once you get rid of his armor, phase 2 will start. So you kind of got to work around some of these types of mechanics on this one. So with phase 1, his hero power is called Mad Science. It's a passive hero power, and all his hero powers are passive. They're always constantly active. It says all secrets cost 0. Well, guess what? He has a bunch of secrets, and you will need to manage those. So the best way to do this is our good old friend, Eater of Secrets. Eater of Secrets will help manage that amazingly well. Just wait for him to put all the secrets in play before you use Eater of Secrets. But have 2 of them, so just in case you don't get them all. But he has access to all the different secrets from all the bunch of different classes. There's 1 or 2 he doesn't have. But you get a lot of these, Hunter, Mage, and Paladin secrets. And the one thing you need to keep in mind, though, is that at the end of each phase, which there are 2 more, when he begins the next phase, he's going to put down a big minion that you need to remove. So you need to save your removal for this guy. At the end of first phase, it's Festergut. He's a 4-mana, 3/5 minion, and his text says, at the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. So that's one you don't want to leave on the board, because he will wipe you out over and over again. Did you figure him out early, or did you?
Oh yeah. Kill command right away. Gone. I kind of cheated a little bit because what I would do is if I didn't have kill command by like, turn 3 or 4 in my hand, getting ready to kill Fester Gut, I played Hunter. I was like, oh no, because I had to play Flare because Flare is just too powerful against this guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Flare is incredible. Destroy all secrets, draw a card, and get rid of anything that has stealth. Although I wasn't really worried about that. I was more interested in the drawing cards and getting rid of all secrets. So yeah, save that kill command for Fester Gut. This guy, you let him go, and it's over. It's ridiculous. He gets out of hand.
Yeah, so when you remove all his armor, that's when phase 2 starts. Mm-hmm. So if you want to the best thing to do is to control it so that he doesn't remove his armor for himself, by attacking one of your minions or anything like that. Because if he removes his armor, then Fester Gut goes off at the end of his turn. If you remove his armor on your turn, then Fester Gut doesn't trigger. And that way you can still remove him at that point. So plan your process carefully. Watch what you're doing. Don't just immediately attack. So, second phase, he changes his hero power to Matter Science. This one says all weapons cost 1. Again, a passive hero power. He gains 15 armor, puts Fester Gut on the board, which you talked about. Remove Fester Gut as soon as possible, and get rid of the weapon if you can, because it's an easy way. If you have a weapon removal, knock it out and you're good. And then clear his armor. And again, when his armor's gone, he'll go to phase 3, and that's when you have another big minion you have to play for. Anything on this one? Any troubles with this section? I didn't. I flew through this one.
I had no problem with this. Once you remove Fester Gut, it's pretty easy. Because I kept an ooze, or any of the oozes. The one destroys a weapon and you gain armor according to the weapon's attack, I think.
Yeah.
That might have been the ooze that I used in my deck, but I also had the other ooze. A golden one, actually. So, no, yeah. You long-time listeners will appreciate that mention. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Arianwin and my golden ooze. But, yeah, second phase was pretty easy. I didn't have any problems with it. So,
okay, then the last phase after you've got rid of his armor is he changes his hero power to Maddest Scientist or Science, and a hero power changes to all cards cost 5 because science. And then he plays Rotface, who's an 8-mana 4/6 minion. Says whenever this minion survives damage, summon a random legendary minion. Yeah. So I was playing Mage, so I had saved my Fireball for this guy because he's only got 6 health and some Fireball. Mm-hmm. It's gone. No big deal. So it was easy for me to get through this one. I mean, really easy. It was really nice. Yeah. I think I did it on the first try even. So,
yeah. On the hunt and kill command for this guy.
Yep. So if you can manage those 2 big minions and understand the triggering actions, this one is fairly easy to move through. It's just getting into if you do it the first time, you haven't understood this going into it, then you're going to probably stumble because it can be fairly overwhelming, especially with that first minion destroying everything on the board over and over again. At least 2 or 3 damage to everything. So. The recommended deck is a Mage deck. It's called In-Depth Professor Putricide. Easy first try. One thing I would also recommend on this one is he has a little video, and this goes to Hearthstone. The guy who created this deck has a video showing you how it works, so you can watch how it's played and get a feel for it before you even go try it the first time. But again, the big keys to this one is Eater of Secrets, also taking advantage of the Cabal Crystal Runner, and Gluttonous Ooze as well. And then, of course, spells and fireballs, many fireballs. So pretty easy to go through. And the last one we have is Syndragosa. Syndragosa, this is an interesting mechanic on this one. When you start out the game, you have a problem. Syndragosa has put on her side of the board, on your side of the board, 4 irremovable minions called Block of Ice. And these minions, when they're on your side of the board, you cannot remove them. You cannot delete them. You can't destroy them. They're there even if you brawl. No matter what, they stay on the board. And that basically means you only have slots for 3 minions that you can put down. However, when you get her health down to 20 and 10, if you have any minions on the board at those two injunctions, then she's going to turn those minions into more Block of Ice minions, which will eliminate even more slots and allow you to play even less minions. So make sure you clear off any minions before you cross those milestones. Once she hits the 10 health, though, then her hero power starts working, and she can do 2 damage using Ice Claw. And she'll start pinging wherever she wants to ping. So if you understand how those things work, this one's not bad. It's something you can work with. It's just a matter of knowing clear the board by running your minions into her minions, and then knock her down to 20 health or below. Same thing at 10 health, and just kind of work around those things. Your thoughts?
I want to say I beat this with Priest, maybe. I kind of just played around getting her down to 20 without having any minions on the board. Then got her down to 10. I think I had a minion frozen or 2. But then I think I ended up playing Prophet Velen and going to the face with some spells, or maybe just dual Mind Blasts, like a spell power minion, and then Mind Blasts. I know I did Mind Blasts at the end, but I can't remember if it was with Prophet Velen but I definitely did it with a Priest, because I had been playing Priest on ladder to try to get my Golden Priest, which I think I'm up to 240 something now. I was at like 235 last week. So I may have gotten like 10 wins. And it's funny because I see so many priests on the ladder now. It's insane. Everybody I go up against is playing the same priest deck I am. I'm like, what in the world? I've been playing this for ages. Why is everyone finally realizing? But I think with the new cards, you have so many resurrect cards now and so many options that they just love playing those guys and then getting them back, right? So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's what I played. I think I played Priest with Prophet Velen and a lot of spell damage minions that I could just plop down and then, go to face and not really worry, maybe kill them off next turn. That way they don't get frozen and get in your way, because that's the problem with this, right? Your minions at 20 and 10, they get frozen. Then guess what? You can't play any minions if you really played it wrong, because then your board gets filled up pretty quick with frozen dudes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I ended up using the warrior deck, and it's kind of a pirate weapon warrior, and very similar to that.
Weapons.
So
Yep.
Yeah, so that way you did have some minions you can play that you could run into other minions to kill off fairly easily, and then use a weapon to knock her below the thresholds. And that way you had an empty board and didn't have to worry about getting more ice blocks. But it worked fairly well, so that one's the one I've shared out in the show notes as well. It's a pirate warlord. It's a Syndragosa easy first try. So cool stuff. It was a lot of fun. Got through those. Kind of sad that there's not another wing in between that and the Lich King. However, man, the Lich King. Whew. If you can play him once, beat him once, and you get your card pack for doing so. But if you beat him once with every hero, then you get a card pack and a hero portrait.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. I haven't done it. Like I said earlier at the top of the show, I haven't beat him yet. I've been trying. Been working on him here and there. I suppose obviously you've beat him at least 6 times.
Yep. I beat him with Priest the first time, and man, was it fun. And I felt so good. I was like, oh my gosh, I beat him.
I'm going to try with Priest.
Yeah, so then I was worried because I was like, I don't see how I will know which classes I beat him with. Obviously, I'll use my limited memory, right? So I was
seen
like,
his
okay, I'll try
sword
to
right at the top.
Okay, so after, and this was, oh my gosh, this was amazing. You know what? I'll save it for next week. I will save.
Okay,
it for
we'll
next
save it
week
next week.
because I don't want to spoil it because it's really cool. You beat him the first time, good stuff. Beat him the second time, it's cool. And each time you beat, go do it. Go do it.
Go do it. Okay.
Yeah, go do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try
Cool.
not to talk about it because it's really cool. You'll enjoy it. You and everyone else listening.
Yes, I haven't done it yet.
I will say, Vestidius, again, that I was a little worried when they took these adventures away. Right?
Sure.
You remember that, right? You remember
definitely.
The anger, the frustration.
No, not at all. There was no anger. It was just concern. A gentle concern.
I was very concerned. So I've been extremely happy with the way they did this. It's, for one, it's free. It's free content.
Yeah, definitely.
It's free fun content. Whereas before, with Blackrock Mountain and Karazhan and Naxxramas, you had to pay for them. And granted, there was a lot more content that we got here. But, we're getting card packs, we're getting PvE, and we're getting fun for free. And I'm happy. This is cool. I think it's a good way for them to, it used to be where we'd get an expansion, an adventure, an expansion, adventure, and they kind of split it up. Now we're getting an adventure every 3 months. Albeit it's not a huge adventure, but I mean, it is one. So if they keep going at this pace, they are going to, I'll be very pleased.
Well, one other way to look at it too is that the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks that you have the expansion out, you are focused on that adventure. And you're really not even digging into the ladder and playing with cards and trying to build decks to ladder as much. Some people are, but for the most part, people are really kind of focusing on that adventure until they beat it, and then they start digging into the cards. So I think it kind of gives you, it makes the expansion last a little longer by stretching out that time with the adventure and the expansion. Because once you beat the Lich King 9 times and got your hero portrait, then next challenge is start working on the ladder, moving your way up the ladder with the current meta. So,
well, I have heard people say they're not playing the PvE content because you don't get cards. Like they're less than no. I mean, like, how when you
not new cards as a result of it.
Yeah. So they're buying their packs, getting their packs, and going straight to deck construction, which I don't blame them. These new cards are so much fun to play, but you can also play them in a PvE environment versus crazy bosses, right? And crazy encounters. So for me, the adventure was, like you said, it was definitely what I was into and am into. But I have heard people say that they haven't even touched the adventure yet. Yes, they're missing the 3 packs. They played, beat the prologue, got their, random Death Knight hero, then went straight to deck construction, went straight to their collection. And I heard that from a few different people. That's that, to each his own. I mean, everyone plays this game differently. We hear it, Legend of the Innkeeper. We try to show you how to have fun. And obviously these adventures are extremely fun. And I hope that the rest of you are enjoying them as much as I am, because man, they're awesome. I went back and replayed all of them again on my other accounts, albeit they were very, very difficult. New players are going to have a little bit of trouble, but I think once you figure it out, it's not that bad. I want to say the upper reaches were a little bit easier on my other account, not my Asian account, because I think my Asian account has no cards at all, hardly any cards. But my other accounts at least have a few cards because I've had those a little bit longer than my Asian account. But yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun, and props to Team 5 and the rest of the crew for doing what they did with adventures in this expansion.
Yeah, it makes you get excited about the possibility of what the future is going to bring and what we'll see at BlizzCon and what's coming up. the next one. So
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yep.
well, cool. So anyways, if you want to check those decks out to try and get you through these, if you haven't already, then those are in the show notes. Find it at legendoftheinnkeeper.com and episode number 155, be the latest one in there. Okay, this week, no reviews, no emails. Sorry.
What? Guys,
Yeah.
gotta get on that. I'm missing my iTunes reviews. I do have a Twitter shout out, and I had to do this one.
Yes,
I was actually hash
if
brown
you didn't,
forced.
I would.
Hash brown forced. Yeah, I was hash brown forced to do this. So, I got a tweet that says at XCMTVGamer at LOTI podcast. If you missed it, check out what I accomplished this past weekend. Hash brown Twitter shout out. So I had no choice. I had to do it. This comes in from my wingman, Zeroshio. So this past weekend, Zeroshio didn't beat. He used all 9 classes to beat the Lich King. So he got his Arthas portrait, the young Arthas, Arthas Paladin portrait, and he made legend. So congrats to that man. I know, right? He is I think 2 or 3 time legend player. So shout out to Zero for being my man, my wingman, and a patron, a listener, and a very, very close friend, and a guy who I think is one of the best Hearthstone players around. Good job, dude. So proud of you. Two-time confirmed. 2-time confirmed. I gave him a third time.
Yeah, it's for next month.
That's right. Next month. There we go. So that's our Twitter shout out. And my hand was forced. Facebook shout out. This is a little bit different. So this Facebook shout out was started by yours truly. When I beat the Lich King, I posted in our Facebook group, I said, have you beat the Lich King? Hoping that people would respond. And they did not let me down. It blew up. Everybody said, this is, I beat the Lich King with this class. I beat the Lich King with this class. And then they would update, with maybe even like what decks they beat it with and, what classes they used. And it was just awesome. So shout out to actually everyone that responded to my Facebook post. So shout out to everybody that responded. You guys are awesome. Very cool. And congrats. Because beating the Lich King is pretty cool. It's like Vestidius said, he's tried a few times and not done it yet. So get out there, beat up the Lich King, and if you're a patron, go ahead and post how you beat the Lich King and with what class. So, cool stuff.
Definitely. I'm looking through it again here now, and actually, we've got several who defeat him first try, some who like, what? I don't want to keep playing this with him getting 100 health. 100 armor in turn 1, and then gets notified, hey, each class is a turn 1 card, but we'll talk about that next week. He's like, oh, good to know. Go back at it. And not only did Zeroshio get that, but Matty J Mania did it, all 9. Got it done. So
nice.
Yeah, some good accomplishments.
Shout out to my man, Matty.
Yep. So good stuff. Great things. Yeah, so that does it for this week. We're getting a little short because we're kind of just digging through content and going through this adventure for now. And next week we'll talk about Lich King and whatever else falls under our lap. But if you guys just have a suggestion, something you want to talk about, want to bring up, or have us go through, send it over to us at email at info@legendoftheinnkeeper.com. Come to the website, make a comment on the post, legendoftheinnkeeper.com. Or you can send us a tweet at LOTI Podcast or at XCMTVGamer for Espo directly. And let us know what you think and how you're doing with the expansion and what you like so far on it too. Any closing thoughts before we head out and get back to it?
If you guys haven't done it, get out there and do the adventure. Oh my goodness. It is awesome. And the Lich King, pay attention to what he says. You play certain cards. Play... Yeah, anyway, we'll talk about it next week. I'm so excited. It's so awesome.
I'll give you a hint. Play a pet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't even think of that one. I remember. Yep.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
That's one.
That's
But
one.
there's so many. There's so many. Very cool.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
All
we'll
right.
hold that for next week, and we'll talk to you guys then. Thanks again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.
Good job, team. Thanks to Sharmo. Shout out to DeSharmo. He got me a free pack tonight. I had 20 gold, and he did the 80 gold friend quest with me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Good deal.
You were choppy, by the way.
Yeah, you were real choppy too. I think I'm having an issue with my internet. They were supposed to upgrade us again this week. Again this week they were supposed to come out and upgrade us, and they did not. So Leslie was complaining about the internet today too. She was having issues. So
yeah, we had the AT&T guy came out today, and we were having some issues with our TV box, and not that we watch much TV at all, but the guy shows up today and he's like, yeah, let me check your cables, because your cables might be too long and this, that, and the other. I'm like, what do you mean too long and this, that, and the other? So he goes up in the attic, digs around. He's like, yeah, everything was uneven. You had to have it even. If it's not even, it's not right. I'm like, this is somebody who really gets into what they do. It's like, I'm not sure I understand your concept. It's a cable. It's not a hose.
yeah.
There's not better water pressure if it's a shorter hose or whatever. It's like, okay. But supposedly it might make our internet a little more stable or a little bit better the way he fixed it. So
Okay.
that's okay. He wanted something to do. So thank you, Mr. AT&T guy. We appreciate it.
There you go. He did it. He fixed your entire internet, all of the internet.
That's right.
He fixed all the internet. How funny.
So, that's cool. Well, thanks guys for hanging out with us in chat. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
We'll catch up with you next week then.
All right. Good job, team.